Welcome everybody from YouTube. Today we'll be broadcasting both on Zoom and on YouTube. For those of you on YouTube, I don't have access to the chat. However, I will follow up with any questions you may ask on YouTube during the live performance. Sounds like a big show. No, it's not going to be a big show. Anyway, feel free to ask any questions in the comments in YouTube, and I will answer those after the session. Welcome in everybody. We'll be starting in just over 1 minute's time, and make yourself at home. We will also be broadcasting live on YouTube. So if you are watching live on YouTube, I apologize. I don't have access to the chat in YouTube while it's live. However, I will follow up with any comments you may make during the live performance, or you can come and join us on the Zoom channel, and then I can obviously answer your questions. Those people on Zoom, feel free to fill up the chat and question and answers with any questions or issues that you're going through, and I will do my best to answer all those throughout the webinar. Okay, welcome. Just give me 2 seconds because I paused the recording.
Recording in progress.
Okay, welcome everybody. This is Friday, the 27th of February, and you are here with me, Marc P. Summers, Famous.AI expert, and I'm here to answer any of your questions or issues, or help you just handle something you're getting stuck with. So if you do have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the question and answer system here in Zoom. if you are watching live on YouTube. At present, I don't have access to the comments in YouTube, but if you leave them, I will answer them straight afterwards. I am hoping that I will eventually learn how to handle that as well as everything else. I have been researching. How do I do this? Okay, good. All right. No, I can't see the comments there. Anyway, so here we are. It is Friday. It's the 27th of February. Who can believe that a Sick for the Year is about to be finished tomorrow? And we are steaming towards the summer so very fast. I've had a very busy January and February. I have now going into a very busy March, and I'm sure that very soon we'll be saying that quarter one is over. You've lost me. You can only see the background. Well, that sucks. Well, that sucks. Give me 1 second to... how about that? Is that any better? Hopefully that will work. Let me go ahead also and share the main screen as well, and that way you can see it without any pixels. All right, a whole load of bots talking to us here. Is there anything here that I need to respond to? If not, we will get started. I'd like to... We lost you in the background. That was Janelle. That's good. Okay, I'm back. Awesome. And if I do this, you should be able to see my screen as well, although you don't necessarily need to see the duck I was creating. Let me just move this onto that screen. I've been playing with Supercool, and in Supercool I created this little duck character. It's a few prompts to get to here. This was the first one it did. I asked it to add the NCL logo, but I didn't actually give it the NCL logo, and I believe it just kind of made one up. I actually kind of like that NCL logo, but it wasn't the right one. So then I gave it the NCL logo, and it created this really lovely duck. I then asked it to make it a 3D model, but we lost the NCL part of the logo, and so I stuck with this, and then I asked it to do it again, and it made it even worse. And so then I just asked it to remove the background because it had given it this nice little 3D printer in the background. I asked it to get rid of that, and now I was actually using a different piece of software to turn it into a model that I can 3D print. One of the things I love doing is 3D printing. The reason I was playing with Supercool is they've made some really good upgrades to Supercool, and so I was fiddling with those because I like to be ahead of the curve and be using the latest systems. So a couple of things they have added is hold on. A couple of things they have added is this new feed, which allows you to just show off some of the things you've created with Supercool. I don't know why I'm kind of down here in the bottom of the screen. I'm not normally a bit higher than that. Let me just... Oh no, that's a horrible view. Give me 1 second. Let me just change this camera angle a second. I've been away, and I think my... what's that doing now? There we go. At least I'm the right way up now. Yeah, I've been away, and my stepdaughter came in while I was away and cleaned the office, so it was very nice of her. But yeah, it's a really nice kind of feed of what people have been doing. There's my thing. 3 people have liked it already, so it's kind of nice. You can get some feedback on the things you've been creating, and so that is a new feature within Supercool. and you can see how many people have liked it, and you earn credits. If people like your post, you earn credits. So it's kind of worth doing. This Dave guy has followed me. Not sure if that is, he's a human being. So I can follow him back. I'm not sure if that's Dave from the Famous Labs team or if that's a different Dave. But anyway, that's he wanted to follow me. All these other people are following me. So I earned 40 credits for someone following me. So then if you're wanting to keep your credits low, sharing your stuff and then getting interaction is a good way of getting some free credits, which is pretty cool. I was also getting it. I've got 2 tattoos that I want to get done this year, and so I was getting it to design my tattoo. But one of the things that it's now doing is it has this own little Marc thing, which is done in the profile here. Oh no, hold on. It's done in the dashboard profile, and you can then basically set your personality of your chatbot. So I told it that it was going to be a funny and professional AI app building expert, and then it had a space for a profile image. And so I took my profile image and then put it into Supercool, and then told it, please make this image of me look like a robotic clone, an Android version of me, and it created this really cool image of me with purple eyebrows, which I don't think I have in the. Oh, I do have purple eyebrows in the original. So anyway, that's my Android version, which I then put into the profile. So now my Android Marc P. Summers, he has an image similar to my image. So now I can just talk to myself. The other thing they've got here is this looking for professional networking, friendship, romantic relationships. I'll take anyone, really. But I'm not quite sure where this is coming into play yet. No one has offered me a date. So now I only set this up about an hour ago. So maybe I need to be a little bit more patient. But that then also gives you a public profile of, who you are, how many people are following you, how many people you're following, how old you are, where you're based, and then kind of your last 3 posts. So these are only things you say you want to be public. You don't have to. You don't have to make them public if you don't want to. Anyway, so that's a little bit on Supercool. Let's read this from Devon. As part of my app, my users can send out invoices to their customers. In your opinion, is it better to send out the invoice as part of an email or as a PDF attachment? Definitely as a PDF attachment, because that way they can save them, they can forward them onto their accountant, they can add them to their bookkeeping system, whereas an email is kind of like a really annoying text format that isn't really shareable very well, or at least not uploaded to an account system. So yeah, make it a PDF attachment. It will create you a PDF attachment very easily. It will store it in your Superbase bucket. So you've then got a copy of all the PDFs that it's creating. Definitely a PDF attachment. While we're talking about Devon, I had a session with Devon this morning. He has created an absolutely fantastic app. Devon, you should be so proud of yourself. It is amazing. He's got a brilliant subscription system where it's very easy to add price IDs for Stripe. It's a one-to-many user-based system. It is very, very good, and I look forward to hearing about the launch of that and your success, Devon, because you worked hard on that, and it's going to be amazing. The only downside of it is it's hosting is expensive because you're not with Host.ai app builders yet, but that's the only downside to your app. hashtag LOL. All right, no other questions from you. So just to remind you, you are welcome to throw them in the, thank you Janelle, throw them in the chat, as it's not too busy. We've thrown out most of the note takers, I think. Yeah, thrown up most of the note takers. So feel free to ask any question, however big or small. It can be on Famous or Super Cool. I'm not saying I'm a Super Cool expert yet, but I have really enjoyed playing with it with these latest updates. One of the things that I will talk to you about is a good thing you can do with AI image creations, and that is selling your designs. So on Etsy, for example, if you let's decide what we want to search for. Thinking of you, Voodoo. So these designs here, this design here is actually a design that I did using AI. And so fairymerch.com is one of my many businesses. I actually used to own a print warehouse that used to do merch for businesses and so forth. And so when you create an image, you can then sell it, and people buy it for T-shirts and so forth. So this is one of my funny designs. I don't know exactly how many times I've sold this. Does it say? No, I don't see. Lots of nice reviews. Oh, does it say down there? No, that's just instant downloads. Maybe I have to go to my profile here and it'll tell me how many orders. 64 sales. So in a year, this image, because that's the only image that is on this, has been sold 64 times. So for $2, 64 times, that's $128 for one image that I put on. Anyway, that was one of the reasons why I was playing with Super Cool, is because I want to create a whole load more images that I'm going to upload and put on here, and so very, very easy to do that. You can simply we'll create a new chat here and we'll say, please create a t-shirt graphic for a purple duck with Cruise 2026 written on it. Okay, and we just send it off and it goes. Now, I have found that the creation of image here is a little bit slower than with ChatGPT, but the actual output is so much better. So it's thinking more, it's planning more, it's designing more, and really understanding what is going on. So let's see how this comes. And so with one little prompt, this is going to create a nice little image, and you can then use that to either sell it as an image. You can even use it for a print-on-demand company like Printify or something like that, and then sell t-shirts with that design on. So very, very easy. I know this is a distraction to some of you that are creating awesome apps, but here we go. Here we have a really nice design that would work really well for people that are going on cruises. For those of you that don't know, cruise people like two things: ducks and pineapples. I will explain the ducks. If you don't know about the pineapples, I will not be explaining that on this webinar. But what people do is they take little rubber ducks and they hide them on around the cruise ship, and then kids go and find them. In fact, I'm just grabbing here this little 3D printed duck I made of myself. Can I get it right? Let me move to this camera. So this little 3D printed duck. He has his latte and his laptop, and you probably can't see with this light, but he's purple. Got his little purple hoodie and purple headphones, and so this is me in duck form, and so that was 3D printed. Let's go back to this screen. What we're going to do now is we're going to ask it to remove the background because we don't want this t-shirt. Okay, it removed the background of behind the t-shirt, but I kind of want to remove the t-shirt altogether. Maybe if I press remove background again, nope, it's still not doing that. But what we can do here is fool it and download the image, and then let's put that image into this browser. It's going to lose the resolution a little bit doing it this way, but we're going to open it in the browser, zoom in, and then take a screenshot of just the image without the t-shirt. And then we can go back to Supercool and upload that screenshot we just took. Screenshots here. And then just say, please remove the background. As simple as that. So now, it's going to just simply remove the background, and very, very easy. Did it finish? Is that it? Is that a PNG file now? So we take this file, download it. It is a PNG file, and it has no background. So all I would need to do now is upload that to Etsy, add it as a listing. It will cost me 20 cents to add as a listing, and duck for t-shirt, post it into the stream, and now you can see I'm earning. No, there's Jonathan P. I'm earning credits by showing off what I'm doing, which is really cool. And there is my t-shirt. Some of these images are pretty cool to do, some really cool stuff with. Like that there would make a really cool, I don't know what to make it really good. Make something cool. But it's very, very simple to make great images for your marketing, or indeed, remember, you can sell these images as well. And so, yeah, it may not earn you thousands of dollars, but, if you get a check for an extra $128 for what, a minute's worth of work, well, I'll take $128 a minute. That kind of works for me. All you need is your creativity and super cool. It's pretty super cool. All right. No questions yet. I love it when you all just come in and you don't have questions. Come on, you must have something you'd like to ask me. While you're thinking of a question, let's go over to Famous and see what I was working on last. Oh yes, I'm working on this directory. This was pretty cool. I did this for a project at the weekend. Can you animate in Supercool? Do you know what? I don't know the answer to that. So one good way of finding out an answer is to test it. I know you can create videos, but whether you can actually animate it, let's ask it. Please turn this image into a video where the duck swims in onto the Cruise 2026 wave. All right, we'll see what it creates. So that's now rendering the duck swimming, optimizing video resolution, verifying the consistency, adjusting colors for visual harmony, encoding the video and previewing the generated video sequence, assessing the fluidity of the animation, refining details. Oh, it's doing a lot of stuff. I can't keep up. Finalizing the video creation, preparing the video for distribution, confirming successful rendering. It is doing a lot. Overlaying the duck image, refining the animation, adding subtle water effects. I love it. It is interesting to see how it breaks down the task into actionable things. Smoothing the transitions, implementing the Cruise 2026 overlay, encoding the video, finalizing the video, testing the video. So what you've seen here is a creation. Okay, oh, that looks awesome. Let's see how it looks. What you've seen here is a creation of a character from the outset and straight into a video, 8-second video. That's pretty cool. For a couple of minutes worth of work, it's pretty cool. So now obviously with more information of what you expect the scene to have, etc., you could really play with that. I don't know how I know how many credits that took. I'm sure there's a way somewhere to see that. Like I say, I'm not. What about adding audio? Let's put. Please add a couple of quack sounds to the video. And have the duck say, "Yay, it's cruise time." All right. Orland says, click task complete. Okay, thank you. There we go. So that cost 1,908 credits to create that little video. And so I'm going to post it to my feed. That's going to earn me 100 credits. So then it's only 1,800 credits. And then all I need is 180 people to like it. I'll get 10 credits each for each of those likes. Playing with video creation. Come on. Oh my goodness. Can't type today. That's why I use dictation, because I'm not very good at typing. So it's now posting that video to the live feed for everyone to see. Now, obviously, if you were doing something for a private launch, you wouldn't want to be publishing it out until you were kind of ready to have some promotion. So here it's created some audio. Let's see what this is. There's the quack sound.
Yay, it's cruise time.
It doesn't sound like a duck. I'm not sure a duck sounds like that.
Yay, it's cruise time.
But let's see what it's done with the video. We'll play it again. Are you ready? Here we go.
Yay, it's cruise time.
Yeah, he sounds a little bit too well, mature for a duck. Please change the voice of "Yay, it's cruise time" to a cartoony duck sounding voice. Okay, so now we're playing and iterating. So for those of you that use Famous, we're using the same techniques to iterate in Supercool here. That costs 410 credits to add the quacking and the yay, it's cruise time in that masculine voice. Here, let's see what this one sounds like.
Yay, it's cruise time!
Okay, that sounds okay. It's still not kind of cartoony, but it sounds a bit better than the businessman voice that we had before.
Yay, it's cruise time!
Perhaps I can request a Daffy Duck voice. Well, let's see. Let's see what it says when it's finished this one. How much do they charge? So the credits are, you top up your credits. So I'm not entirely sure how much credits are. We would need to work that out. Let me see if I can find super cool pricing. Prices are subject to credit usage. So here we go. That's all the different credits that is going to be used. Storage, additional storage, view subscription plans. Here we go. So cheapest plan is 2,000 credits, $8 a month, and then it goes up from there. A little bit like Famous works with build credit. So yeah, and so this $2,000 a month for 8 credits. If you submitted 20 of your items, you would get 2,000 credits for submitting 20 items. So it's kind of like you're earning money using the system. I know the math doesn't quite work that way, but let's see how this gets on. Is it still working? Still thinking. All right, come on, hurry up. What about adding audio? Did that. That's really cool. Yes, it is. How much do they charge? Covered that. Okay. That's. Come on. All right, while that's doing that, let's go off to Famous and yeah, so this here was a really cool system I created for the weekend. I was doing a photography job for a daddy-daughter dance, and there were 300 dads with their daughters, and they all wanted photographs. So we created this queuing system. It allowed the customer to join the queue automatically, and then they were getting text when it was their turn, and so it was showing them who was up next and who was on the dance floor dancing, waiting for their turn, and it was really, really cool. Completely written with Famous. In fact, I actually tested another AI builder and hated the way it was working, hated the way I was able to or not able to problem solve, and so redesigned it from that previous system to Famous. So it just seems that once you know a system inside out, you can't move to another one. Anyway, let's get back to this, see how it's getting on. Adjusting the pitch, generating, so it's adjusting the pitch to this, so hopefully that will make it more cartoony. All right, any other questions? I like your questions because then I get to find out the answers to them. Iterating on parameters, refining the quack. Okay, I don't know what is refining for the quack. Checking the potential audio artifacts. Some of these things I don't even understand what they're doing. Validating a modified sample, confirming successful voice transformation. Wow. Sometimes also think that it's going off and having a coffee break and then just pretending it's doing stuff while it's out there drinking coffee. Who is busy this weekend working on projects? I was away last week, and so this weekend I have no calls, which is good and bad because I enjoy my calls. But I am working on all the projects that I need to get finished off. Because in 2 weeks tomorrow, I'm on one of my cruises, which is why I'm messing with these ducks and things, and looking forward to putting my head down and working on some great projects while I'm on that cruise. And I get off that cruise, and 12 hours later, I fly to Spain to see my boy. And so, keeping very busy. Which, for those of you that want to book time with me, let's do this while we're waiting. What am I doing? Oh yes, AI app builders, and then products done with you. Yeah, if you're looking at booking time with me, excuse me, if you're looking at booking time with me, you'll see that there's a nice batch of time next week and the week after, and then there's a whole period of time where I'm not going to be available. Webinars will still happen during this time, but this time's been blocked off for a couple of reasons. But one of those reasons is that during this time, I'm going to be working on projects only. Now, the lovely Janelle will be available for calls during this time, and I'm going to be available for repeat calls only. So if you haven't worked with me before and you feel like you want to be working with me over the next little while, this time period is basically a whole month. I will only be available for repeat calls and not new calls. So if you want to start working with me, then book one of these calls in the next couple of weeks so that you then become a repeat client and get access to the next little bit. The other day you showed me how to link Supabase tables to each other. Can you walk through that again? Absolutely, Devon. Now the problem is if I can find one that doesn't actually already have those links. Oh, good. All the otters are going. Bye, otters. You won't be missed. The other day, yes. Okay. Devon, do you mind if I log into your Supabase and just do one of yours? Okay, cool. So, what is your Supabase called? What's your organization name, Devon? Oh, yes. Got you. All right. So, and it's the quick quote calculator. This is the app that I was telling you about earlier, guys, that Devon has created something amazing here. But there is an issue in that some of these tables have been created, but they aren't linked to other tables. So, for example, let's see if I can find one. owner ID, that's linked. Do you know of a particular table that has no links? Dumpsters. Here we go. So here we've got the dumpsters that are owned by a company ID and a user ID. However, the company ID and the user ID is not linked to the company ID table. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on the column and then click on edit. Now, just to let you know, you can do this by prompting in Famous. However, there's issues with doing that in that, Famous is AI and not necessarily, going to do it in the same way. But here we're going to click on edit column, and then we're going to go down to add foreign keys. And this is for the company ID. So we want to link it to the public schema and then the company's table. And then within the company's table, the company ID is going to be linked to the company's ID. Okay? And then we're not going to mess with these actions. What you could do is if something was deleted, it would then delete this row as well. But as this isn't my app and I don't want to cause any got rid of that. I don't want to cause any issues while I'm on a call that I then have to fix. We're going to leave that. But ideally, you would have it cascade that when a company was deleted, all of its dumpsters were also deleted as well. And so action if referenced row is updated, then that's no action. But action if reference row is removed, then you could say cascade and remove these as well, which for the dumpsters, that's the right thing to do. When the deleted a record from the public, let's do this, cascade. Deleting a record from the public companies will also delete any records that are referenced in this table. So if you delete a company, you don't end up with a whole load of orphaned dumpsters in this case. And so that we are actually going to set that because that isn't going to hurt his app. And now when we click save and save, you'll see that this little arrow appears. And so now if we want to know whose dumpster this is, we can just click on this arrow and it loads the details of who that company is and details about all of their things. So again, we're going to do the same with the user ID. We're going to click on the user ID, edit column. Then we're going to go down to add foreign key. And we're going to connect this one to the users table, which will be, we had this issue in our call this morning. What is your users table called? Customers, I think. Devon, can you confirm that? Is it customers? I might leave that one until we know for sure. Customers is the end customers. Company, thank you. And we don't have company, we have companies. But that's the company ID. I'm going to leave that one until we can be sure. But that's the process, how you, business. Okay, let's just check. No, I have nothing called, business profiles. Okay, that would make sense. Okay, so the user ID is going to be linked to the user ID here. Yes, that's what we want. And then we're going to again, I'm not going to change this just because we're not entirely sure if that is correct. Save and save. And now, if we want to find which user this is associated to, we can then match up the user ID and again see it's quick quote dumpster company, which is correct. So there we go. That's how you do it. Adding foreign keys to your tables means then when you go into this database schema visualizer, you can see how all the tables are linked together and what keys connect to the various different places. Orland says, how do I transfer my code from Famous to HostGator? As far as I understand, HostGator does not host React apps, so I don't believe you can transfer it to HostGator. But you should look at, if you are looking to transfer hosting to another host, you should look at my hosting service, host.ai app builders, host.ai app.builders. Janelle's just put the link in there for you. Thank you, Janelle. You are amazing. But yes, that is a system designed similar to the Famous hosting for React apps. It's really easy to deploy your app with a one click and a drag and drop. It's very simple. So there we go. Hopefully, Devon, that answers your question on your system. Ideally, anytime there is a user ID used, you to see those all linked through here from one place to another, and it's very powerful having that database linked. Now, like I said, you can do that with this is very annoying. I've got linked to so many different clients. If one client doesn't pay their bill, I get this horrible big thing at the top. And then I have to message them and go, hey, pay your bill because it's affecting my screen. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I have access to probably about 100 different people at Superbase here, so it could be one of any of them. It's not you, Devon. It would say something different if it was you, because I'm logged in as yours. Anyway, that's Superbase linking tables. How did that not finish? Session is still processing. Please wait for the current operation to complete. The session was interrupted. Please send a new message to continue where you left off. Please continue. Okay.
Yay, it's cruise time!
Okay, that doesn't sound as good as the previous voice. So we've kind of lost in its stalling, and it's probably because I was in a different place and then came back. It kind of stalled rather than staying here. I got 5 more likes, so that's extra credits. All these people keep following me, so not sure if they're people from the webinar or are just randos. And then I'm getting extra credits for people liking my posts, liking my post. I'm not sure why this person liked my post and I didn't get credits, but this person liked my post and I did get credits. So not quite sure how the credit system worked, but it's pretty cool. And the other thing you can do is you can, under your profile, you can share, a bit like Twitter and so forth. You can share your profile, on different things. What would be really cool is if they had a referral program, and so when people joined via your profile, that you then got credit, which would be really cool. But I guess that is something that will come soon, especially with all this extra features that are coming out. All right, let's go back. The session was interrupted. You can send a new. Oh my goodness.
Yay, it's cruise time!
All right, that's. think we're not going to waste any more of my credits on doing that. I'm going to download this, and then we'll put that on my socials and so forth. I've got another like. Awesome. Oh, there's Vincent. I presume that's you, Vincent. So awesome. Anyway, we've got about 15 minutes left. Any other questions? Let's move back to Famous and do something famousy. We've got time to create a new app. We've got needed this duck stuff. Okay. Yeah, let's create an app. What can we create an app that will help us? Anyone want to throw an idea and see what we're doing? While you're thinking of an idea, I'm going to go and open up the prompt builder so that we can have the very best prompt. First idea. Throw it. Actually, you know what? If you don't think of an idea, note-taking apps that I can add notes to in real time, reprioritize them, and then check them off when finished. Okay. Well, Devon was there with his suggestion, so we're going to paste exactly what Devon said into Grandma, and who do you imagine will use this notes app? Someone who is creating apps within an AI app builder and allow them to keep track of everything they write down. People who can't remember things. You don't have to be old to not remember things, really, you don't. Okay, what kind of notes will people be adding? To-dos, general, scribbles, short reminders, etc. Okay, when you say reprioritize, would you, how would you like that to work? Should people be able to drag and drop notes to change their order? Yes. Drag and drop the notes so that the top priority is at the top. Also have a not important section for things that were important enough to write down but not necessarily a high priority. Okay, when you check off a note as finished, what would you like to happen? Should it disappear, move to completed section? It should celebrate with the user that something was completed and then move to a completed section so it can be looked at later. It should also be able to be marked as incomplete in case something needs to be added to it. The colors should be heliotrope purple, #8811DD. It should be encouraging and only use icons and not emojis. please add a SAS, S-A-A-S element to the project brief. So what we did here is we answered the 5 questions using Grandma, who is available in the club, and then it produced us with a project brief, and then we asked it to add a SAS element to the project brief. And so now we have our full brief of what we just said, and we're able to just copy and paste this into Famous and then work it out from there. So we just want to check the top. We want to call it notes and priorities, and we want to mark this as private so that anyone can't see what we're doing. And then we're going to mark it as a website and press go. And what's it got? It's got 7 minutes to produce this massive big SAS system. Hopefully it will finish in time. So the joy of, or the benefit, should I say, it's also a joy, but the benefit of using Grandma is she pulls out more ideas that you may already have had. I could have just taken what Devon had said and thrown that into Famous, and it would have done a pretty good job. But it would have had to have made up the answers to any of the questions it had. Whereas here, Grandma is asking those questions, she's pulling out more information that we might use to make a best result. Now, you can also do this with Super Cool. So if we take that original prompt and go ahead and start a new chat with Super Cool and say, can you create a Famous.AI prompt to create an app that, and then boom. Now Super Cool is going to make up the answers because it's not going to ask us any more questions. It's going to make up the answers and then create the prompt for us. And so what would be very interesting is to compete the two side by side. This is probably something that we should have started more than 6 minutes before the end of the webinar, but we'll see what happens. All right, while that's building, let's go back to Famous here and see how that's getting on. It's started to code. It reckons it's going to take up to 18 minutes, so we may not see the results of this straight away, but we can definitely work out a little bit more. How is this doing? So this is looked at the core functionality, display 8 to 12 sample notes in an organized card showing timestamps. So it's planning out what it's going to look like. It's using a card format. So this is actually writing the app. It's reading the sources pages index. So this is something that they are doing with Super Cool, is integrating it with Famous. But what I am yet to understand, and maybe we'll work it out here, is how we then put this app that it's actually creating here into Famous to be able to continue to iterate. It'll be interesting to see. I've never actually done that, so I might have bitten off too much, more than I can chew, for just a few minutes before the end of the meeting. on something like this, would it be better to have all of the user's data saved on their device instead of saved in Supabase? Well, it depends. If you want it to be multi-device possible. So for me, I don't always have my phone. During the day, I'm in front of my laptop. And then in the evenings and when I'm traveling, I have my phone with me most of the time. So I would prefer a note-taking app that I could just go, oh, I need to add a note. I'm at my laptop. I'm going to do it there. I need to add a note. I'm on my phone. I need to do it there. So a progressive web app here where I can do it from anywhere is great. As far as data security is concerned, if you wanted to make it so that it only stores on their phone, then you would need to make it a native app to do so. You wouldn't be able to do that as a progressive web app. Progressive web app does need the internet to store data. All right, we've got loads of things going on now. Let's see how this is doing over here. Prioritizing features, determining data structures. It's thinking. It's doing the drag and drop ordering. So this didn't just create a prompt. This is actually creating the whole app. I'll create a famous prompt. It said, I'll create a famous prompt. And then well, maybe what is this? Jumps live. Yeah. It didn't actually create the prompt. It just... now this is interesting. So this is in Supabase. I asked it to create this thing, but I didn't up here tell it anything about my coloring. But here it's saying it's going to do it in 8811DD in lighter purple. And so because I've obviously used that color before, it's bringing that in Supabase, which is nice. It's using previous history to ensure that things are all connected together. We have 2 minutes, and I'm not sure we're going to see the results on either of these in 2 minutes. This is creating the landing page, gradient background, floating note animations. It's kind of like these both are connected to each other, and they're just saying the same things. It should be kind of freaky. Now, my login for Famous and my login for Supercore are different, so it's not like it's connecting the two together. Considering the user experience. Okay, for those of you that are in the club, Monday is our club webinar, and I think we'll be showing the results for this in that webinar, because it's nearly time for us to finish off. Oh, where did that? Oh, I went to the wrong tab. Yeah, it's nearly time for us to finish off, so we're not going to be able to show this working now. If you are not a club member, then come to my Wednesday webinar, and I will probably show the result there as well, or join the club and come and join us on the private exclusive club webinars on Monday. You get access to Grandma, you get access to all of the features within the club, and obviously access to those private webinars on Monday. Janelle has put a link to the club, and Janelle's also put a link to all the other webinars that I do during the week. You're welcome to come. My Wednesday and Friday webinars are open to everybody, so if you're not a club member, you can attend those without any problems. So we are running out of time. This hasn't yet finished, so I will see you next Monday if you're a club member, next Wednesday if you're not. Have an amazing weekend. Go build something awesome and brag about it in Supercool. Can you record Monday and post on Discord? Yes, they're all recorded. It's me just getting them posted. So yes, Vincent, they're The club webinars are recorded and then posted only in the private Discord channel for club members. So if you're a new club member, you can actually go through and watch all the old recordings that are there as well. So have an amazing weekend. I will see, just me. I will see you next week, and have a great time. Cheers. Bye-bye.